Let's start by going back and breaking down the regulatory cues our autonomous learner is using to perform this skill. Our first regulatory cue is block your belly button. The ball should be about belly button height. In this step, the athlete's arms should be held straight out in front of themselves with their hands on either side of the ball. You should be standing upright. The second regulatory cue is to take a walk. The athlete should take a step forward with their dominant foot. This first step is going to be your lead step. The third regulatory cue is to plant your foot in the ground. The athlete should push off their lead foot and plant their non-dominant foot firmly into the ground. This means they are stepping forward with their non-dominant foot, providing a pivot point for your next step. At this step, hands should also be released away from the ball. The fourth regulatory cue is to slice through the ball. After planting your foot into the ground in the previous step, pick up your dominant foot and use the top part of your foot where your laces are to slice through the ball. To gain extra power and momentum, it is beneficial to swing your dominant arm backwards. From behind, you can see that her body does not veer from the midline and stays upright, not leaning to the left or right throughout the movement. The athlete begins to punt by properly standing upright and holding her arms straight out. However, she does not block her belly button and holds the ball slightly high. The athlete then begins to take a walk. Taking a walk allows her to make a lead step forward with her dominant foot. However, she takes 2 extra steps to begin this process, as well as prematurely picking up her non-dominant foot and begins to toss the ball in the air. The athlete properly plants her non-dominant foot in the ground. However, the ball is already released by tossing it in the air instead of just dropping it. She begins to slice through the ball. However, her foot is not pointed, meaning her ankle is locked. This causes a lack of control over the ball and often sends the ball either straight up or behind the athlete. To gain extra power, she does start to swing her non-dominant arm forward, but she follows through the motion by lifting her arms in the air and arching her back. From behind, she stays perfectly in the midline, not straying until the ball is in the air. Due to the athlete being a cognitive learner, it is easy to see how many aspects of the punt are performed at the improper times. When we look at the side-by-side of the autonomous and cognitive learner, it can be seen that the autonomous learner follows the regulatory cues and slices through the ball with her laces, providing power through the drop of the ball, whereas the cognitive learner has not yet mastered the regulatory cues of the punt and is unable to properly perform the skill. After a week of practice, the athlete showed proper technique of standing upright and holding the ball down, covering her belly button. She continues to take a walk with the proper number of steps. She correctly flexes and takes a lead step with her dominant foot and keeps her non-dominant leg extended. The ball also remains in her hands and is not tossed in the air prematurely. The athlete properly plants her non-dominant foot into the ground and then releases the ball. The athlete completes her punt by slicing through the ball. Her dominant leg is fully extended and she properly hit the ball with her laces. To gain more power, she also properly swung her dominant arm backwards.